Hello guys, welcome to our weekly video. This is chess for beginners. Today we're going to learn the very basic of chess. We're going to learn about the board, how it is named. Then we're going to talk about the pieces and their name and how they are arranged on the board and the movement for each piece. So at the end of the video, remember to subscribe, then turn on your notification so that you don't miss on our weekly and bi-weekly videos. Leave a comment on the comment box. So we're going to start. Now this is the chessboard. It is labeled with numbers and letters. It's labeled from letter A to H, then number 1 to number 8. Now this side that I'm sitting, the board is arranged from A to H, like from your left to the right, but on the other side it's the opposite. It's arranged from letter H to A. Now on this side, the vertical side is arranged from number 1 to number 8, and that other side you count from letter 8, number 8 to 1. So the board has 64 squares, and each square is determined by a letter and a number. For instance, this square number 1 is determined as 1A. This is 1A or A1. Now, at square number 8 there at the corner is labeled as H8. Or from this side you can say is H8. Now, for instance, if you take this square here, the white square, this square here is identified by this letter D and the number 5. So here this will be D5. So you call this square D5, and this square here is labeled with this letter here and the number 5. So we call this E5. This is E5. Now from there, so we look at the pieces. So now the chessboard has a total of 32 pieces, 16 in each side. We have the black color and the white color. So now this is the king. The king sits at E1. Okay? Then after the king we have the queen. This is the queen. The queen sits at D1. Then we have two bishops. One bishop sits next to the king and another bishop sits next to the queen. Then we have a knight. We have two knights. One knight will sit next to the bishop, and the other knight will come next to this other bishop. Then we have this is the rook. Each side has a rook, same as to the black side. We have the rook for the black side and the rook for the black side on the other side. So this is the king for the white, this is the king for the black, this is the queen for the white and queen for the black. So each side has an alternative piece on the other side. Okay, so these are the major pieces of a chessboard. Then each major piece has a minor piece. That minor piece is the small one, and it's called a pawn. So for the rook has a rook pawn, this knight has a knight pawn, this bishop has a bishop pawn, and the queen has a queen pawn, the king has a king pawn, and this other bishop has a bishop pawn, a knight pawn, and a rook pawn. Now let us look on how each and every piece moves on the board. We first start with the pawns. Now for the pawns, they move vertically. They move straight forward. They are the soldiers. So they are the foot soldiers, and they move straight forward. They march ahead. Any pawn can start. They are the pieces that starts the game. So you can start with any pawn. They're supposed to move to the next square in front of them. Now the pawn can move 2 steps ahead for the initial step. The first step, they can move 2 steps, but they can still move 1 step. It's the way you want. You can move 2 steps or 1 step, but after 2 steps, now the next movement can only be a single square. So from here we have moved 2 steps, we have moved this step and this step right to this place D4, but from D4 now going forward we can't move any further, we can only move a square at a time. Okay, so for this rook pawn, it can move here, or it can decide for the initial step can move up to h4 like that. So now after learning the pawns, now let us look at the bishops. Now for the bishops, we have 2 bishops. We have the bishop at the white spot and the bishop at the colored spot, the black spot. So when you look at the other side of the board, the bishop at the white spot corresponds with the bishop at the colored spot on the opposite side. Same as to this, the bishop at the colored spot corresponds with the bishop at the white spot. So how does the bishops move? The bishops moves diagonally on their color. For instance, this bishop at the white spot can only move diagonally along the white squares. It can move along the white squares. It has ability different from the pawn to move at any square that it wants. It can go forward and it can come back. It can take this route, then use this route, as long as it maintains its color. So this is the white bishop. Same as to this other side, the black bishop on the white spot, it is the white bishop. It moves along the white squares diagonally. You see, it moves along the white squares diagonally. Now the black bishop at the same time, by black I mean the bishop on the black spot, this bishop, same as to this bishop on the other side, it moves diagonally within the colors. It can move diagonally as much as it wants, as long as the file is free. It moves, it can come back and take this other route and take another diagonal move. Okay, now let us look at the knights, the horses. Now the knights, be keen on this. This knight is on the black spot and this knight is on the white spot, just like the bishops. Same as to this knight on the opposite side, it's on the white spot, and this one is on the black spot. So the black knight corresponds with the white knight. The black knight this side corresponds with the white knight. I mean the knight on the white spot. So how does the knights move? They move, if a knight is on the black spot, it's supposed to go to the lighter spot. For like this knight, it's supposed to go to the lighter spot. But how do they make their movement? They draw an L. For a knight move to complete, it has to be an L. So they count 3 squares and move to the opposite square. Okay, 3 square including the one that they are sitting on. So we count 1, 2, 3. Then they can move to the opposite square there, or they can move here. Okay, so from here they'll count 1, 2, 3. Then they'll move to the opposite square like that. Okay, or this side. Okay, so what was I saying? That they move to a lighter square. If you count, this is the dark square, the light square, dark square, they come to the light square. Still, this is the dark square, light square, dark square, then light square. So for this knight, we'll count 1, 2, 3, dark. Okay, 1, 2, 3, light. Are you seeing? Okay, 1, 2, 3, dark. Have you seen? Okay, and they can still come back the same way. 1, 2, 3, light. Okay, 1, 2, 3, dark. Okay, 1, 2, 3, light. Have you seen? Same applies to this knight here. So for this knight can count 1 2 3 light, or 1 2 3 light. Okay, then from it can still go 1 2 3 dark, or 1 2 3 light. Are we together? So if these knights were to move, all of them, with time you learn to move them without counting the square. You just know that they're supposed to jump direct to the light square, like that. So this one you'll be jumping it direct to the black square. Okay, so they move 1 2 3 light, and this will go 1 2 3 dark. Okay, this will count 1 2 3 dark, 1 2 3 light. Have you seen? So whatever the color the square they are sitting on, they're supposed to move to a different square of the different color. So for this in white, supposed to move to a dark square. How does it happen? Count 1 2 3 1 2 3 dark. Okay, this one is on the dark, so 1 2 3 light. Okay, 1 2 3 dark, 1 2 3 light. Now let us see how the rook moves. The rooks have the easiest move. They move vertically and horizontally. Okay, so for this, white rook can move as long as the file is open. They can move vertical and still move horizontally and come back vertically. Okay, this one can also move vertical up to here. They can also move horizontally. They can also go back where they have come from. Okay, they can move to one square, then find a free file and move the way they want. So they can operate here, they can operate on this file here, they can come up to the center and navigate any file that they want. Okay, they can even come and sit next to the queen. Okay, same to this, you can have both rooks on one side. Okay, they can rearrange themselves, they can come and sit in front of each other. Now let us come to the queen. Okay, the queen mother. Now the queen is the most important piece on the board. It is every piece. The queen is every piece on the board. By that, what do I mean? I mean that the queen can move to any direction of the board. The queen moves to any direction as long as the file is free. It navigates anywhere she wants to go. She can move down here, she can come up here, she can settle on the center and rotate any side that she wants, move right, diagonally. Okay, any side. This is the most important piece. And before the king, the queen is the one that need to be protected. Okay, the queen has to fall first before the king goes down. Okay, and now we come to the king. This is the masterpiece. All right, so this is the game. The king is the game, because the job of this game is to protect the king. So how does the king move? The king can only move it moves in all direction, but it can only occupy the immediate square. Okay, so the king can only move one square at a time. Okay, one square at a time. It moves at one square at a go. So if you want to take your queen to this point, your king to this point here, it means you have to make how many moves? 1 2 3 4, because it can only move a square at a time, a square at a time, like that. This is the person that we are protecting when you're playing the game. So everything rotates around the king. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you're now well equipped and you can start a chess game. So stay tuned for my next video and get to learn more about chess and how I'll be able to make moves. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and put your notification on. Bye.